Oh, mommy. Somebody wants to join.
I love you, and we're super grateful and honored. Thank y'all.
They started from the streets of Houston and Brooklyn, and now they rule the world, not just with music, but with money, power, and influence. Beyoncé and Jay-Z aren't just a couple, they are an empire. From chart-topping albums to real estate empires, from private jets to business empires worth billions. This is not just a love story. This is the blueprint for building generational wealth, fame, and cultural dominance. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how they did it, and why their empire is still growing. The origin, two legends in the making. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born and raised in Houston, Texas. From the moment she could walk, she could dance. From the moment she could talk, she could sing. She trained like an athlete. Relentless rehearsals, vocal lessons, competitions. At just 9 years old, she formed the girl group that would later become Destiny's Child. Hits like Say My Name, Survivor, and Bootylicious turned them into a global sensation. But Beyoncé had bigger dreams. She went solo in 2003 with Dangerously in Love and made the entire music world stop and watch. The voice, the moves, the vision. It was clear she was born to reign. Meanwhile, in Brooklyn's Marcy Projects, a hustler named Sean Carter was sharpening his mind and his rhymes. Selling CDs out of the trunk of his car, Jay-Z was building a brand before people even understood what branding was. In 1996, he released Reasonable Doubt. It wasn't an instant hit, but it became a classic. By the early 2000s, Jay-Z was already being called the greatest rapper alive, but like Beyoncé, music was just the beginning. The power couple is born. They met in the early 2000s, collaborated on '03 Bonnie and Clyde, and then again on Crazy in Love. Their chemistry was explosive, on stage, in the studio, and in real life. In 2008, they married in a private ceremony away from the flashing lights. Together, they became the most powerful couple in music, and when they toured together, it was magic. On the Run and On the Run 2 were more than concerts. They were cinematic experiences, grossing over $364 million combined. Beyoncé and Jay-Z weren't just sharing a stage. They were showing the world what partnership looks like: love, loyalty, and a shared vision of greatness. Their business empire. Individual brilliance. Jay-Z the mogul. Jay-Z didn't just rap about success, he created it. He founded Rockefeller Records, then Roc Nation, managing artists like Rihanna, J. Cole, and Megan Thee Stallion. He bought Tidal for $56 million, turned it into an artist-owned streaming service, and sold majority ownership to Jack Dorsey's Square for nearly $300 million. He invested in Uber early, turning a $2 million investment into an estimated $70 million stake. He also owns Douce Cognac and sold half of his champagne brand, Armand de Brignac, to LVMH, valuing it around $640 million. Jay-Z's estimated net worth today, over $2.5 billion. Beyoncé the visionary. Beyoncé founded Parkwood Entertainment, the company behind her albums, films, and projects like Homecoming and Black is King. She launched Ivy Park, a fashion line that partnered with Adidas and revolutionized athletic wear for women. From Pepsi to Tiffany & Co., her brand endorsements aren't just promotional, they're cultural moments. Her Renaissance World Tour in 2023 alone grossed over $500 million, becoming one of the highest grossing tours by a female artist ever. Beyoncé's net worth, over $800 million and still rising. The palaces they call home. You want to know how billionaires live? Let's take a tour. Malibu Mega Mansion, $200 million. In 2023, Beyoncé and Jay-Z shattered California real estate records with their purchase of a $200 million oceanfront mansion in Malibu. Designed by legendary architect Tadao Ando, the home is a modern fortress made of concrete, glass, and open space. Bel Air compound, $88 million. This 30,000 square foot masterpiece has 4 pools, bulletproof windows, a full spa, a media room, and a 15-car garage. It's more than a house. It's a fortress fit for royalty. East Hampton Estate, $26 million. Their East Coast Escape, a 100-year-old estate renovated to perfection with 7 bedrooms, 2 acres of land, and private access to Georgica Pond. New Orleans Church Mansion. Yes, they even bought a 13,000 square foot church in New Orleans and turned it into a one-of-a-kind home, because when you're Beyoncé and Jay-Z, ordinary just isn't enough. Their legacy. beyond the billions. What truly sets Beyoncé and Jay-Z apart isn't just the money, it's the message. The legacy they are building isn't about luxury, it's about lifting others as they rise. Beyoncé's Bay Good Foundation has helped communities recover from natural disasters, provided scholarships to HBCU students, and supported entrepreneurs through the Black Parade Route program. Her 2023 Renaissance World Tour wasn't just entertainment, it injected over $4 billion into the global economy, creating thousands of jobs in local cities. Beyoncé made sure her success was shared. Jay-Z has been a champion for criminal justice reform, funding the legal defense of wrongfully imprisoned individuals, partnering with Meek Mill to form the Reform Alliance, and producing documentaries that expose systemic injustice. They use their fame not just to inspire, but to act. Family first, building a dynasty. Through all the fame, the billion-dollar deals, the spotlight, they've never lost sight of what matters most. Blue Ivy, born in 2012, was the first chapter of their legacy. She's already a Grammy winner, featured on Beyoncé's music, and attending red carpets like a pro. Rumi and Sir Carter, their twins born in 2017, represent the expansion of the dynasty. Even though their lives are fiercely private, one thing is clear: Beyoncé and Jay-Z are intentional parents. They're raising heirs, not just to wealth, but to culture, to creativity, to leadership. Their children aren't just growing up in luxury, they're growing up in legacy, power in partnership, the art of staying together. No fairy tale comes without challenges, and this couple has had theirs. From infidelity rumors and Lemonade's raw emotion to Jay-Z's confession on 444, the world saw their pain but also their strength. Instead of breaking, they rebuilt. Instead of hiding, they healed. And they did it with grace, with honesty, and with power, in a world where celebrity relationships often end in flames. Beyoncé and Jay-Z showed us that real love is about growth, about choosing each other even when it's hard. They turned their private heartbreak into public art, and that vulnerability made them even more unstoppable. A billionaire empire and still rising. Together, they now sit atop an empire worth over $3.3 billion. They own music, they own fashion, they own real estate, streaming platforms, liquor brands, and hearts across the globe. And yet, they're just getting started. With new projects on the horizon, a growing family, and global influence that keeps expanding, Beyoncé and Jay-Z are not just living icons, they are blueprints for excellence, resilience, and generational wealth. The legacy of royalty. So what do you call two kids from the projects and the suburbs, who built an empire, shaped culture, and redefined what it means to be powerful? You call them the Carters. You call them Beyoncé and Jay-Z, and you remember their story, because it's not just about music or business or luxury. It's about what's possible when vision meets talent, when love meets loyalty, when ambition meets purpose. Their story isn't just one to admire, it's one to learn from. And if this inspired you, there's more where that came from. Hit that subscribe button, because next time, we're diving into the life of another icon who turned their pain into power.